Okay, hi guys. We are so excited to do this Zoom with you guys. I want you first to drop a 1 if you are not yet a Ruby leader and you are wanting to go Ruby, because I'm here to tell you, all of you that are dropping 1s right now, this Zoom is for you. Now, I want you to drop a 2 if you are already a Ruby leader and you're ready for more. You're ready to help other girls go Ruby, right? You're obviously ready to just help them make this income that they've been obviously needing for their families, for themselves, and that stable income that you know that comes from being a Ruby leader, right? And the beautiful thing about Ruby is, for those of you guys that don't know, is that actually being a Ruby is the foundation to Diamond. And obviously that's the dream rank because it is literally the license to print money. So if you guys are not yet a Diamond, that is obviously the next step that you guys want to do. But we're going to start with Ruby here on this Zoom and just give you all the best tips for everything that you need to go Ruby. Okay, so we are actually going to start with just a roadmap and just showing you guys what a Ruby chart looks like. If you do not have one as we are talking about this on this Zoom, what I want you to do after you get off this Zoom is text your enroller and be like, I'm ready to go Ruby. Can you get me a Ruby chart? Because the best thing that you guys can do is have it out in front of you. I went Ruby in just 45 days, you guys. And if I could do that when TikTok wasn't around, Post to Post wasn't around, none of the things that we're using today was around except for messaging, I promise you guys can do it now too. And that's why we're on here, to give you guys all the best tips. You guys can be utilizing every single platform you have to bring in the best results for you guys to promote now. Okay. And what's amazing right now is that obviously when you guys go Ruby, you can actually get $800 along the way. So I'm actually going to unmute my girl Jess. She's going to be explaining everything that goes along with Ruby, and our leader Cassie as well. So let me go ahead and unmute them, and they will take over with the Ruby portion of this for you guys to see how you are going to beatbox and actually promote.
Cass, do you want me to start?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I am so excited, you guys. I'm actually going, I need to be host Haley, just because I can't share my screen if I'm not.
I got you, girl. I got you, your host.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to actually share my screen, and we are, oh, I shared it the wrong way. I'm so sorry. We're going to look at the Ruby chart. So let me know if you guys can see this. I think that you can. So what you're looking at right now is the Ruby chart. And I want you guys to look at this and understand how simple this is. It is you, boom, and 3 qualified legs, which we'll get into in a second. But going Ruby, I want you guys to listen to this Zoom and not overcomplicate it, because if you're a Ruby or above already and you've gone Ruby, can you drop a 2 if you were like, it is so much more simple than I made it in the very beginning? I'm sure you're going to see a lot of 2s being dropped, because I know that I was that way, where I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a lot. It is so simple, you guys. Okay, so when you come in, what are we going after? We're going after our first 4-in-1 bonus. That's 4 customers, so 4 Perks members, and 1 person to join us, which we also call a distributor. So with that, we're going after our first 4-in-1. So when you get that, boom, guess what? You've already boxed in your first distributor. Now, another cool thing that our company has done is we have what's called a builder bonus. So if you do a 4-in-1 3 times, guess what? You get $150 every single time you do that. So that's $150, and then another $150, and then another $150. Okay. Cool thing about this is when you do this 3 times, you're boom gonna have this box filled. Boom, you're gonna have this box filled, and guess what? You get an extra $350 when you do this, which means 150, 150, 150 plus 350 is $800. So you guys get the point. So we're going to be going after an $800 bonus as we're going after Ruby. So I'm going to delete all these things so that, you know, we can have a clear, vision of what we're looking for. So now whenever you join, we know, okay, I'm going after my first 4-in-1. What am I going to do when my new distributor joins me? I get my first 4-in-1. What am I going to teach her? to get her 4-in-1. Okay. And as we all know, when we're going after our 4-in-1, the 4 customers need to add up to 300 BV or more. Guess what a qualified leg is? It's 400 BV or more. So when your first distributor, second distributor, third distributor, when they're going after their 4-in-1s and you're also going after yours, you're going to be getting them pretty much close to, if not at, I'm going to tell you guys right now, 99% of the girls who get their first 4-in-1, they're at 400 BV or more right there. So as you're going after an $800 bonus and teaching all of your girls to do the exact same thing, you're going Ruby. So the foundation of all that Ruby is you and 3 other girls basically getting your 4-in-1s done, and you're going to be Ruby at that point. So one thing that I do also want to point out is, along with that, those 3 qualified legs, we need the 2,000 in group volume. So when they're going after their 4-in-1, another one going after theirs, and another one going after theirs, and you going after your builder bonus, girlfriend, you're going to be above 2,000 BV. So when it comes to going Ruby, focus on this. I'm going after my 4-in-1 and my builder bonus, and I'm teaching 3 other girls to go after their 4-in-1, and you're going to be Ruby, and you're going to be getting commissions from that, because as you guys can see, it's an average of $500 a month, plus you're going to be tracking on a $800 bonus along with it. So that is how simple Ruby is. I'm going to stop sharing this. I hope that makes sense. Make sure you guys print this chart out. If you don't have it, like Haley said, contact your leader. And she'll send it to you so that you can get it printed out, or you can draw it out. And I know Cassie's also going to add in something about getting those first 3 distributors.
Yes. Okay. So if you guys were looking at that chart and you're brand new, you're probably thinking, oh gosh, like I've gotten customers, or I feel good about getting customers, but how on earth am I going to get distributors? Because I honestly felt the exact same way when I first got started. And that's such a normal feeling. But I remember my enroller told me, do you have anyone that you know that would want to make extra income? And I thought to myself, I probably do. Let me go ask. So I was utilizing my warm market, and your warm market is just people that you know, friends and family, coworkers, acquaintances. And I remember the very first person that joined me in this business was Nayara. She's an ambassador today. And I basically kind of forced her to do this with me. I was just really excited about this opportunity. I knew that she was broke too. She needed the money too. And I got her to do this business with me. That was 1 box knocked off on my Ruby chart. The second person I signed up was my sister. Second box was knocked off. My sister honestly had no idea what this business was, but because I was excited, she just did it. And then the third person was actually a random person that I found on Instagram. It took me a full 2 weeks of live posting before I signed up my first stranger on social media. So it took me 2 weeks of consistently posting, but it happened. But the whole point was I wasn't waiting around, for someone to get signed up with me from social media, even though I was doing all the things. Utilize your warm market. And even if people aren't interested, or even if people say no, ask them anyways. Don't automatically assume that they won't be interested. You cannot automatically assume how people want to spend their money. You can't just automatically assume that people don't need an extra income. I promise you, in this day and age, most people need extra money, and don't just deprive them of this opportunity just because you're scared to ask. Because could you imagine if I had not asked Nayara and my sister? They're both with me to this day, 8 years later, doing this business with me, and they're absolutely incredible. And then another thing that I also recommend too is, if you have a spouse, if you have a boyfriend that you want to sign up in the business, do that. I actually didn't do that in the beginning, and I wish I did. That would have been my 3rd spot, but I actually waited a little bit longer. But definitely, I encourage you to sign up your spouse, boyfriend, anyone that you can, because it's just going to build up a second paycheck for you. And that's basically it. So, but regardless, if you're doing all the work, which we're going to get into, you will sign those people regardless, but definitely utilize the people that you know, because I promise you, there's probably someone that you know that is willing to sign up and that needs this extra income badly. Haley, you're muted.
I love that so much. Sorry. Thank you. I love that so much, because honestly, guys, like the first couple of people that I signed up, like, yes, was my now husband. And then also literally 2 girls that I went to college with. And the girl that signed me, I went to high school with her. So you guys have to understand, there's so many people that are actually like, they went to school with you, right? Or they're right down the road from you. They grew up with you and they're watching you. So don't be afraid to ask, because the worst they can say is no, just like Cass said. So drop a 2 below if you are ready to actually learn how to bring in customers and distributors, right? Obviously amazing to start with the warm market, but you're like, I really want to just crank up my social media. That's what we're going to be talking about the rest of this Zoom. So this is where aware, like I said, we're going to be pretty fast paced. And what I want you guys to do is if you hear something that you don't know what it is, I want you to obviously be writing down everything that we're saying, but I want you to ask your enroller after this Zoom, like, hey, I heard something about boosting algorithm with blocking bots. What the heck is that? Can you please explain that to me? Or, hey, I heard the word host to post. Or, hey, I don't know what hashtags to use that Jess talked about. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? We are all going to be giving you tips. And what I want you to do is just focus on getting everything written down so you have the information. And I was that kind of person where I'm like, I'll write it down. I'll understand it later. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about with my girl Raven, because she is absolutely a rock star, literally a fireball with Facebook, and she has been since she started, is we're going to talk to you a little bit just about like our day-to-day of how we are enrolling consistently almost every single day from Facebook. And we both enroll customers and distributors from that platform. So I'm going to go first, Raven, and then I'm going to kind of pass it to you, babe. So first for me, what I got started with and what I was kind of the guinea pig with for Cassie's team was Host to Post. And it has literally transformed my business. And I do not go a day without getting Host to Post up. And what I want you to write down is 5. I want you to write down 5 Host to Post a day. Okay, 5 Host to Post is what you're going to go for. For me, what I like to do is I like to get up 3 gummies Host to Post. I like to get up 1 distributor Host to Post, and I like to get up 1 giveaway Host to Post. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? So that's what I like to get up every single day. And the reason that I do that is gummies is for customers, right? Distributors, obviously, you guys know to post a distributor one is for distributors. And then of course, a giveaway one is to increase my friends list. So the reason that I'm only doing 1 giveaway, and you can of course change that to 2 to 3, maybe even 4. If you guys want to do all giveaways starting out, that's totally fine, because all those people that comment on a giveaway Host to Post that is put up for you, let's say Jess posts for me, all of her friends comment, I'm going to message all of them about getting into my giveaway. And guess what I'm going to give them? Gummies or distributor, right? So it's all about expanding your market and having more and more people out of referrals just posting for you all about your business. And so that's what I want to encourage you guys to do is if you guys don't have a lot of friends, I want you to do giveaway Host to Post, okay? So that kind of covers everything for Host to Post. For me, I also save it into a collections. I do not allow it to be on my page because that looks very, very spammy, and we're going to kind of go into how your page should look, but you don't want those on your page. So if they're on your page, you need to ask your enroller, hey, these Host to Posts are showing up on my page. This looks really not right. Haley said not to do that. Can you show me how to take that off? Okay. And then as far as with, posting, I love live posting on Facebook. I always have, to be totally honest. When it comes to live posting, I truly believe I was always on Facebook. I found my enroller on Instagram, but I was always just on Facebook. Even me, being literally 21 years old, I only had a Facebook for years. I had an Instagram for a couple of months. So live posting is how I bring in a lot of girls. Yeah, somebody just dropped same in the chat. Yeah. So there are young girls on Facebook, believe it or not, and I was ready to join. And there are young moms on your Facebook, right? And they're ready to join you. And you know what? It breaks up your feed as far as products or reels, like Raven's about to talk about, so I just want to make sure you guys are actually making sure that everything that you go to post on Instagram, you post on Facebook. And I'm going to give you a quick tip. I do not automatically share my Instagram posts to my Facebook posts. I noticed when I did that, I got less likes. So I go and remake the post. Raven's nodding her head. She does the same thing. I go and remake the live post from Instagram. I take the wording and I put the pictures in one by one on Facebook. It also changes the format, the way the photos are on Instagram to Facebook when it automatically shares, puts them in a weird format. So you want to be able to obviously adjust your photos so that they look good, not where it's half the sky and your head's down here, right? So you guys want to actually see yourself. So I recommend obviously copying and pasting and actually making the post physically on Facebook. Okay. So Raven, I'm going to take it after you, but I'm going to let you jump in and talk about Reels, because Reels has drastically changed Raven's business. So go ahead, girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Reels is what made my business to start off. I did not have a lot of followers. I didn't have all of these people that were in my market. And I had no idea what a Reel was when I first started, but I jumped right in, and Reels completely changed my business. What's so great about them is you post them and Facebook does the rest. It fishes it out to literally everyone and anyone. You can reach people all over the country, out of the country, and we're a global company. So reach as many people as you want. And what's also great about them is you never know which one is going to take off. Actually, what changed my business forever is that a Reel that I had, it went viral after being on my page for a month. I never delete them. I always leave them up. And after a month, it went crazy. I went from 100 followers to 60,000 followers in a week. And I did nothing but post that video, and Facebook did the rest of it. And it also is just an incredible way to just reach people that like have like interests. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about with Reels is what kind of Reels I'm posting. First off, I'm a product of the product, so I always post my results. If you're new, you don't have your own results, we have tons of results that you can use. I post about the opportunity. I post giveaways, and I post about my real life. That was something that I saw changed my business drastically. I started reaching people that were more like me. Now I have a ton of moms on my team, and we can connect with that. So once I started really finding who I was and posting about who I was, I started connecting with this school. And now I've built a team of girls who are like-minded, and they're like me, and they have similar interests as me. And like I said, Facebook does the rest, and Facebook doesn't care what you have on them. Like I create mine in TikTok, and I just post the same exact video on Facebook. They do not care. They will push it out anyways. And it's just an easy way to reach so many different people from all over.
I love that. Do you do hashtags on yours, babe?
No, I just use a regular caption, and most of mine are super short. I feel like whenever it's short, it kind of hones in on whatever you're talking about, and then it fishes it out to those people who are looking for that.
Love that. I do the exact same thing. And for me, like you said, like I'm leaving the TikTok watermark on it, unless for some reason my lips don't match. Then I've actually been taught by Jess how to actually make it match up, right? So if you guys need help, literally reach out to your leader. They'll tell you how to do that. Because I know sometimes we feel weird like posting videos where our lips just don't match with the sound. So I love those tips. So can you go into actually like boosting your reels? Because I feel like you are so good with actually getting them out again. So not only getting them posted just the one time, but boosting them up again so that they get out again and again and again.
Yeah, absolutely. So boosting is honestly my favorite thing ever. I love it. And I do it, if not every day, at least every other day. And it's so simple to do. All you're doing is just commenting on your old posts. So I do it for my reels and all of my posts as well. But you just basically comment on your post again, and it starts it all over again. It puts it into more people's news feeds. It gets on people's, I don't know if they call it For You pages on Facebook. I'm not really in those things, but whatever it is, it puts it back out there. And all it is just commenting on it. And like I said, I do that every single day. If not every day, every other day at least. That's like one of my non-negotiables. I boost as much as I can, because not only is it going to fish it out to those people who have those interest, but it's also now going to send a notification to every person who ever commented on it. So every person who has ever commented on any of your posts are now getting a notification that says, hey, Raven commented on this post. And then they're going to go click on it. Then they're going to see your post again and be like, oh yeah, I remember I reached out to her that one time. I wanted those. Let me reach out to her again. And I get so many enrollments just from boosting my posts because I'm so consistent with it.
I love that. And I actually found out it goes to the people who liked it too. Because I was getting it for girls that I was like liking their reels to kind of support girls on my team. And then I would get notified and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even comment on this, but I liked it. So that's really cool. So obviously when you guys, are starting to boost, make sure you reach out to your leader and be like, hey, I'm looking for one to boost for my weight loss, or I'm looking for one to boost for my distributor. We don't boost the funny ones or anything like that. We only do product. And then of course, opportunity ones for distributors. And the cool thing that the girls are going to talk about, with Instagram, and then of course, touching on TikTok, you're using these videos throughout all platforms. And the cool thing is you don't have to switch up the caption. You don't have to like actually change up like anything that you're doing. Once you make it once, you're using it on all three platforms. So how convenient is that for our business? So the one thing that I wanted to also talk about was messaging. That is a non-negotiable for me, whether it's messaging for host to post. I'm noticing I'm not getting a lot from my giveaway host to post, or maybe like, Raven said, I'm putting up a giveaway reel and I'm just not having people host to post for me. And I'm not getting those couple that I want daily, minimally, like those 5 we talked about. I will go out and message, but 99% of the time I'm messaging for customers. And if you guys need a customer message, reach out to your leader. Again, anything that we say, please reach out to them. But the customer message is literally gold for me. It's how me and my team send so many customers on a month-to-month basis. And when I tell you that, even following up, like going through my Facebook and just following up and sending them, a simple like, hey, I hope I didn't say anything to offend you. Are you still there? Message has helped me sign a lot of customers as well. So don't forget to follow up. Don't forget to send out those messages to all those new friends that you're giving from giveaway host posts. Just because they host a post for you and they say no to being a distributor, or they say no to being a customer when you offer it to them, doesn't mean they're not going to want to be a customer later on. And that was actually something else we wanted to talk about to kind of like close it out, is we wanted to talk about posting. So for me and Raven, you know, when we started, we had a very, very small group of friends. And I feel like Jess and Cassie did too. Like we didn't have big, you know, Facebook platforms. Okay. She's talking about 60,000 followers, but she literally said she started with 100. Like I started with like 96 friends. So we started very small. And I feel like so many people are like, well, how do you build that? And then we tell them how to build it, but then you go look at their page and it is very spammy. You know what I mean? There are memes and there are just like so many things on there. So whenever you guys are actually posting, make sure that you are posting genuine content, live posting. Raven, do you want to talk about like how often maybe you product post so that it doesn't look like super spammy on your page?
Yeah, absolutely. So before I even go into posting, I like to take an inventory check of my page. I go through, if my last post was about my life and opportunity, I'm going to a product post. If it was a product and a reel about a product and then an opportunity post, I'm going to make sure that I show up for myself. And now they're seeing my face, they're connecting my face with what I have to offer. And so I like to just do an inventory check before posting at all, just to make sure it's not the same thing again and again and again.
I love that, including like color background posts. Like you guys don't want to be posting color background after color background. And another last thing that we wanted to say is if you guys have something that has like 0 likes and 0 comments, and it's been like 16 hours, get it off your page. If it has no interaction, it's just destroying your algorithm. And that's actually something that I do, as well as making sure that I'm blocking fact check bots that are actually bought to block our algorithm. So you can reach out to your leader and ask for details on that. But that's how we're boosting our algorithm, is making sure that we are keeping up quality posts. We're making sure that we are making it fresh and fun, no memes, switching it up, like she said, inventory checking our page, and then also making sure that we're only keeping up stuff that is doing well, as well as blocking those bots. So I'm going to pass it over to the girls to actually talk about Instagram now. So drop a 1 if you guys need help with your Instagrams, because these girls are going to spit fire and give you all their tips.
Jess, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So,
Okay.
So 2 of the things that I'm going to be talking about when it comes to Instagram is really just video content, as well as like showing up as your authentic self. And as soon as Cassie gets done talking, I'm sure I'll think of other things, but video content is huge, you guys. So in the very beginning, when I started 4 years ago, Instagram was my main platform. I was a little bit different. I only had Instagram. I didn't have Facebook. So Instagram was my only platform. And I had a whopping 200 followers whenever I first started. And so, you know, video content wasn't really a thing. I think stories had just came out like a year before, and Cassie will get into posting. But within the last year, video content has become huge, not just on Facebook, like Raven and Haley talked about, but also Instagram and TikTok, which we'll talk about briefly right after this. Video content is so huge. You can make one video, you can use it for Facebook Reels, you can use it for Instagram Reels, and you can also use it for TikTok. So making sure that you're, you know, showing up and doing that video content is so important. Every single day, I shoot for at least 1 reel on my Instagram. Now, you may be hearing that and you're like, oh, 1, that seems like a lot. You guys, I promise you, you can do it. You can batch content, you can record a couple in 1 day so that you're ready for the week. But I want you shooting for a minimum of 1, but I want you actually shooting for 3 a day, on TikTok, on, you know, Facebook Reels, on Instagram, because guess what? That's in a way that you can reach hundreds of thousands of people. Just like Raven on Facebook, she went from 100 followers to 60,000 overnight, basically, because she posted the video. So make sure you guys are doing that. And you may be thinking, okay, well, great, I'm going to try and do that. But what in the heck do I do? Go to your leader, go to any leader that you admire, that you look up to, and look through her reels, look through her TikTok, look through her Facebook Reels, look through them and find ideas that you can remake. And with this, I don't want all of your videos to just be business all the time. I want you guys to mix it up. And the thing that I like to do is I like to do at least 1 product video. I like to do 1 that is business related. And then I like to do 1 that's funny, that, you know, is me. I'll never forget on TikTok, the very first video that went viral for me was just a funny video that I made with my boyfriend and Cassie's husband, Spencer. On Instagram, my first reel that went viral, it wasn't even related to the business or the products, but it got so many people to my page. It got so many people to my TikTok, and people, yes, just like Bree said, said, people love seeing who you are in real life. That's how you connect to people. That's how people get to know you. That's how people get to trust you. We don't want to be a walking billboard. We want to be a walking billboard of like who we are. At the end of the day, we are people who happen to have this really incredible business with awesome products and an opportunity to change your life. But to our core, we are us, and we want people to see that. So Cass, do you want to go into posting and messaging?
Yes, absolutely, guys. So we are a social media business, which means your Instagram or your Facebook is essentially like your resume when people look at your profile. So you want to make sure that it looks good. And obviously, don't look at my page or Jess's or Haley's and think that you have to be like ours. I promise you, you don't. Just be yourself. And trust me, it has evolved so much over time. I have learned so much, but you also want to make sure that it looks professional, that it looks good, eye-catching. If you were an outsider looking in, would you want to join yourself? Ask yourself that question. But one of the most important things that we can do is post. And if you're not posting, your business is closed. Obviously, there's a lot of back end of work that we do, like messaging, following up, doing all the other tedious things, but posting is such a simple task that we can do every single day. And when it comes to Instagram, I post on my story every single day, multiple times a day. I would say the feed can be a couple times a week, as much as you want it to be, but it should be often. But the stories is like a non-negotiable every single day. And like Jess said before, mixing your personal life. So if you guys are brand new, make sure that you get it added into some sort of shared album where you can use some story content for yourself, some sort of testimony, product things, and start getting it posted immediately. I promise you, you don't have to wait before your products come in before you can start posting. And obviously, I encourage you to make your own content if you can when your products come in, so people can see that you are a real person using the products as well. But mix in your personal life. You can post your food, your family, your pets, your kids, your faith, any hobbies you have, any inspo, anything, Lord, anything that applies to you. And for me, it was definitely out of my comfort zone to start posting because I had never posted before, but I honestly just had to make myself do it. And I had to start looking for opportunities. And I promise you, it does not have to be the perfect post. I live in Florida today, but I went ambassador, the top of the company living in Connecticut, and it was very gloomy and gray outside. And I still posted those things. So I promise you, even if your life doesn't look exciting, it doesn't matter. It's relatable to someone else. So post it. So make sure that you're also posting all throughout the day. If you can, I definitely recommend doing that instead of just batching everything at once and just posting it all at once. Another really important thing that we do is we message people. So just like Haley said that she messages on Facebook, I do so on Instagram as well. I message for distributors and I also message for customers. I kind of alternate between back and forth. What is so great about video content, like Jess said, is that it can reach thousands of people. It can bring an influx of people in, but video content can also be a hit or miss. So sometimes you can post something and it can flop, and that's totally normal. But because I know that to be true, I'm always going to be messaging people. I'm not going to wait for someone to message me. So I'm still going to do all the posting. I'm going to do all the things, and hopefully I attract people in, but I'm not going to wait around. I'm going to want to be having new conversations every single day. And how I do that is by messaging people. So I message people every single day, all throughout the day. I would say I message probably 15 to 20 people at a time, probably 5 different times all throughout the day. And me doing this, even if people aren't answering, even if people tell me no, I'm planting seeds and I'm giving them an invitation to look at my page. So if you're not posting about your business, but you sent someone a message, they're going to look at your page and they're going to be like, what is this girl talking about? But if you have stories up and if you got highlights saved, and if you have pictures on your feed or videos on your feed talking about the business and just your personal life, it's going to validate what you just messaged them. And they're going to be a lot more interested and probably trust you more because your page looks legit. I can't even tell you how many times I've had someone respond to a message and just say, I thought this was a scam, but I looked at your page and you look really legit. I want more information. And they signed up with me. Happens literally all the time. So always be messaging, always be posting. So important. And like Jess said before, the most important thing that you can do is go follow other successful top leaders. Literally how I learned to do this was by trial and error and just by watching other successful people. And I copied what they were doing. And I made it my own, of course, but if they posted on their story, I did the same thing. If they posted on their feed, I did the same thing because I knew if it was working for them, it was going to work for me. And honestly, just watching them was a lot of fun because I was inspired by their life and it kept me going. And then another thing that's really important is growing your network and growing your market. So I joined this business with only 300 Instagram followers. So what you see today is not what I started with. Obviously, if you really kick it up a notch with this video content, you can grow your followers so quickly, especially using TikTok. But in the meantime, how I grew my following was by following other people. So if you don't have any people on your page, or even if you do, you want to have constantly having new people see your stuff. You want new eyes on your stuff. I follow new people every single day. Typically what I would do is I would go find a girl. I would go follow all the likers because the likers are people who are active. And when I do that every single day, I'm able to grow my following because a lot of those people end up following me back. that's about it. I think that's everything. I think I covered all the basics. Did I miss anything, Jess, or do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I was going to add on to the stories. One big thing that I want you guys to not do, learn from my mistakes. Do not post all of your stories for the day at the same time. So the cool thing about stories is every single time we post, we're showing up and people, you know, we all have the bubbles, we all have them. When you post once, you show up in the front of people's bubbles. And if you posted all your stories for the day, guess what? You're going to be at the end of the bubbles and no one is going to be seeing your story. But if you're posting constantly throughout the day, your bubble is going to keep going to the front, going to the front, going to the front. So make sure you're posting sporadically throughout the day. In the beginning, I worked 2 full-time jobs. And what I did was I had silent alarms that literally just vibrated. And I knew, oh, I'm going to go post a story. And all of you guys are in shared albums. So have videos, have stories already saved so that they're easy to find and you just post them. As far as I saw a few comments like, oh, my life is boring. I can promise you guys, you think your life is boring, but every single other person following you does not think that way, because I'm nosy. I would watch someone clean their house in silence because I'm nosy. People want to see what you're doing. So show them your cats, show them your dog, show them your kids, show them the clouds, show them what you ate for dinner, show them what you had for breakfast, show them, I don't know, the new pair of jeans that you bought. Also share your normal everyday life and realize that your life is not boring. And just sharing as much as you can. But if you're a private person, like I'm a very private person, you may go to my page. I know Cassie's a very private person. You may go to our page and you may be like, oh my God, they share everything. But in reality, we probably only share 10% of our life, but it doesn't look that way to the outside eye. And so just know you can share as much or as little as you want, but just share and be, you know, showing up in those bubbles, showing up on people's feeds, because don't let a week go by without posting on your Instagram feed. You want to show up in people's feeds, just like the stories. We want to show up in the bubbles constantly. We constantly want to show up in people's feeds. And if we're posting once a month, girl, no one's seeing your stuff in their feed. So keep posting. So that's all that I have to add with that.
Thank you so much, Jess. So I just wanted to end this with just some inspo, because we shared a lot with you guys. And at the end of the day, you guys can learn all the things, you can be doing all the tasks, but if you are not working on yourself and if you are not growing in your personal development and in your faith, it honestly means nothing. And when I joined this business, I had no idea what it even meant to personal develop or what it meant to, you know, just grow. And because this is the kind of stuff that wasn't taught to us growing up. And little by little, I grew. And I actually didn't even realize like how much of a negative person I was before this business, sadly, but I've changed so much. So if you're doing all the things and if you feel like you're not getting the results you want, ask yourself, like, are you sowing with a negative mindset? And if you are, you're probably going to harvest a negative harvest. And I want you guys to remember that, like, God has every good thing in this world. And if he brought you into this business, he can bring you through it. And it's easy for him to bless you in this business, right? And my biggest piece of advice would be to absolutely just surrender your business and your life to him, because I promise you, like, if you do things with him, it's going to be a whole lot easier. We weren't meant to do life alone. This business is really, really simple. I think the hardest part is just learning to grow in our faith and in our personal development. I like to say that this business is personal development attached to a compensation plan. You're never going to make more than what you think that you're worth or what you think that you can do. But the great news is that with God, all things are possible. And it's just such an incredible promise, right? So I want you guys to know your work will be blessed. And we actually had a newbie Zoom last night, and someone asked, like, what do you do when you're not feeling the best? Or if you feel like you're doing all the things and you're not getting the results? And I honestly thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? I actually feel so much peace about it, because I know when I'm doing the work, I know that God is going to bless my efforts. It's just a matter of time. It happens every single time. Because for me, like, the only time I can call myself out is if I'm not doing the work. But if I'm doing the work, it's going to be blessed. It's a promise. I know that to be true. And I know it's just a matter of time before my breakthrough is coming. Even if enrollments aren't happening when I want them to be happening, as long as I'm having conversations, it's going to come. Like, I know that to be true. So I want you guys to not work from a place of frustration. I want you guys to give this your all, but also remember it's a learning curve. Like you guys are brand new. We all started as beginners. Don't compare your chapter 1 to our chapter 20. I promise you, we started just like you guys in the beginning, but I promise you, God will provide rain for the seeds that you sow. So if you put in the work and if you trust and if you believe and you actually give this business an honest shot, it will absolutely work for you. And I promise you, I'm no one special. Haley and Raven and Jess are no one special. We all just decided to give this business a go. We never gave up. The only difference between successful people in this business and the ones who gave up are the ones is that we failed more times. We picked ourselves up. We picked ourselves up more times. So what my best advice would be to you is to be solution minded, ask questions, go to your enroller. We want to be able to help you. I always tell every single person that gets signed up with me to blow me up with questions, blow me up with screenshots. I want to be able to help you. A closed mouth does not get fed. So ask all the questions. And the amazing thing is that it works as the vehicle to be able to provide any dream in your heart. So even if you thought that you would never be in this type of business, which believe me, I never thought I would be here either. Like this was the last thing I ever thought I'd be doing. It's just so incredible to see like what God has done because his plans are better. And I've been able to do so much through this business. The blessings that it has provided and the vehicle that this has been is just so incredible that I am just so glad that I said yes to this opportunity. That I never gave up because look what it has done. And I know that we haven't even scratched the surface. So what I would encourage you guys to just work your business every single day with expectancy, knowing that your work will be blessed, that the enrollment can do it for all of them. He can absolutely do it for you. I'm no one special. I just believe that he'll do it for me. And when you actually believe, because God wants us to believe, you have to have the faith. If you have the faith, it's just a matter of time before all the blessings start to come. This business honestly is just really mental, but I promise you it's so simple and it's so much fun. And I'm just so happy that you guys all got started. And I'm just so happy for you guys all to go Ruby. Just remember that your mentality produces your reality. So start speaking good things, speaking that you're going Ruby, start speaking out what you want because your words have so much power and everything that you say, I promise you, means something. So make sure that you're not speaking death over your life or your business, that you're speaking life and watch how it all starts to work out in your favor and how things start to change all around you. So that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for getting on. We had such a great time with you guys tonight and we can't wait to share this recording with you guys.